Good evening, everyone, and you're all very, very welcome. A special welcome to the Rev.Dr.Laurence Graham, Paula Gilmore, our new CEO of Parkinson's Ireland, and who has travelled down from Dublin specially to be with us this evening. Also Dr. Ed and his wife Jean Ritchi, and Martin's sister and brother-in-law, Mary and Tom. You're very welcome. You're all very welcome. Tonight it's a presentation for the Reverend Laurence, who is leaving Killarney and going to his new parish in Dublin. Laurence has been a great help to us in Parkinson's, and we thank you, Laurence, very, very much for all you've done. And also on behalf of Jack and myself, Laurence, I'd like to thank you on all the visits you've done to the home and everything else, and also for the listening ear for me when I've come to you, worrying about Jack. On behalf of the committee members, we'd like to present you Laurence, hoping that when you look at it, you'll remember us all in Killarney. And on the back, you will see how much we think of you, and on it is done, "Well done, thou good and faithful servant." We will miss you, Laurence. We wish you all the God's blessings and in your new parish, and I hope you and your family will be very, very happy. And I hope at some stage that some of us might, if we go to Dublin, can get in touch with you and meet you. I know that right. Jack and I will try and see if we can.
Good. So, good. Okay, thank you.
Are there any questions now for Laurence or anything?
I'd like to say something.
And Laurence is just going to say a few words now.
Yeah, I just want to say, well, first of all, obviously, thank you. Thank you for this beautiful watch. And thank you also for what it represents, your love and your best wishes. And so I really appreciate that, and thank you for that. And I feel like a bit of a fraud, really, because Grace has thanked me for all that I've done for the Parkinson Society. And really, I don't feel I've done a whole lot of anything. But we are really glad that you are using the building for your meetings. I've really enjoyed the couple of times we had a service, of course. Those were special times. But I don't feel that really I have done very much at all. But I want you to know that the church continues to welcome, and even when I'm gone, the church will continue to welcome the Parkinson's support group to meet in the building and on the premises. I have prepared reams of handover notes for my successor, and not just about the church, but about groups that are using the building. And I can assure you, Madam President, that the Parkinson Society is listed on that and explained about it all, and you will. So the door will continue to be open in September when you start again in your meetings after the summer, and I pray that you continue to meet. And Grace has said that you might, if you're on a day trip to Dublin, then it's Teddy told me he used to drive a bus in Dublin, but he'd never do it again. He only did it once. But never bother with the bus, because if you get the train from Killarney, you get the train from across the street here, and it lands you at Euston Station, and you get on the Lewis line at Euston Station, and you go from Euston Station about 10 stops on the Lewis, about 10 stops, Paula, would it be, from Euston Station, and get off at Abbey Street. And if you get off at Abbey Street, you get off the Lewis, the door of the church is where that fire door is. Right. So you couldn't go wrong. And you can come in, and we'll make sure there's some tea and coffee and whatever. So that would be nice. And it's very easy to do because of literally the Lewis is right beside the door of the church.
Thank you very much.
So I hope that works out. God bless your ongoing work in the Parkinson Society here in Killarney and nationally. I have my aspen leaf here, and it stays on this jacket kind of way permanently, so it's there all the time. When I think of it, as when I look at this watch, when I'm running late and checking the time, I'll think of you all. And of course the aspen leaf, that tree that trembles, and we all know the legend that it is a legend that the cross of Christ trembles because Christ's cross was made from the aspen leaf. But of course That's just the ultimate reminder that in everything we face in life, Jesus understands, because he's been there too. And the heart of the Christian gospel is that our God is not distant, but our God came, the Word became flesh and made his dwelling amongst us. And so he knows what it's like to live here, even when it's tough. And so that is our strength. That's why I do what I do, because I know that Jesus cares for me and for all the world. And I just hope that as we welcome you in the building below for your meetings, that's just a little sign of the grace of Christ being offered to everybody, because the grace of Christ is for everybody and for each of us to respond. So God bless you all in the future. Thank you for this gift. Thank you for tonight and for inviting me to join with you for a meal this evening, which I'm looking forward to. And thank you, Grace and Jack in particular, and all of you for everything. And God bless you forever.
Thank you.
And we'll see you in Dublin, obviously.
I'd like to call on Paula now, just to say a few words.
Thank you very much to Grace and Jack for inviting me here tonight. I'm delighted to be here. I love Killarney and I love getting an opportunity to get out of Dublin and come on the train down. So thank you for inviting me. I'm 4 months in my new role as the CEO of the Parkinson's Association, and I must say I'm really enjoying it. And you know, you may feel that you don't get as much contact with the association as you would like, but there's 16 other branches like this group all around the country, meeting on a regular basis, supporting each other with a team of people like Grace and Teddy and Kathleen, and people, you know, who are working together to make it happen, and offering support. And you know, these groups they don't get that many opportunities to come together, but we do have several opportunities to get together over the next couple of months. We have a series of education sessions, conferences, one next Friday in Cork. So if you can go, please go. They're worth going to. Maybe someone might organise a group to go together. We also have a social weekend in September, and it's a lovely weekend. We have drumming and set dancing and social activities and education, and you know, and if you don't feel like doing any of those things, you can just chill and just be away for the weekend. But the important thing is about coming together and supporting each other. And I suppose over the next couple of months, my role will be to ensure that, you know, we work towards, as an association, trying to improve services for people living with Parkinson's disease. And last week we had a meeting with the Minister for Health around deep brain stimulation and advanced treatments. We've been involved in research. You probably all received a research survey around medication in the post over the last couple of weeks. We sent out 1,000 to all the members, and we received back, we're close to about 350 returns. Now that is a really high return for a survey, and I suppose what it says to us is that the services are not adequate, and you know that, and you know we want them to be better, and participating in this research helps us have material to go and try and improve services. So I just appreciate, and I'm just overwhelmed with the welcome I've received all across the country, and I'm really enjoying this job. I feel honoured to have met so many wonderful people who have shared their story with me, and I'm using those stories to share with people in departments of health and potential funders and people who may be in a position to try improve the awareness around Parkinson's. We had a couple of weeks ago what we called a Unity Walk in Dublin, and 500 people turned up, and we walked around Marion Square. 500 people was huge. That was the biggest ever group turned up, and it was just wonderful opportunity to raise awareness. And Tom Hickey, the actor Benji from the Reardons, some of you might know him as, he was the face of the campaign. We reached over 1.5 million people, and we had about 39 articles in the paper. And the stories that were printed weren't my story. I have nothing to say. I have no story. I'm a channel to tell your story. And the 39 articles in the paper were individuals sharing their stories, and that's what creates awareness, that's what creates funding, that's what creates better services, that's what helps people who are living with a condition and feeling isolated because they have no support, no companionship, and it encourages them to get involved. It lets them know that there's stuff going on here in Killarney and come and get involved in it. And that's why, you know, we try to do that. But anyway, I'm so honoured to be here, and thank you. And the sun is shining. When I got off the train, dumped my bags, I went on a big walk around. I walked for about an hour around, and it's as beautiful as I remember it. We used to come here when we were kids, so it's lovely to be back again, and I hope I'll have many more visits, and thank you for inviting me. Sorry for continuing.
Can I call on Jean?
Great. Sorry, just the last thing I forgot to, actually. I wish you well, Reverend Laurence, and Abbey Street, I know it's not too far away from the Parkinson's offices, and I wish you very well. It's a tough area, but nothing you can't handle. And we're only down the road if you ever need to drop down for a cuppa. Thank you.
Nice. Jean's just going to say a few words now.
And we mean a few words. I would like, on behalf of all of us, to say a very, very big word of thank you to Grace. It was Grace's idea to start a Parkinson's support group here. And the effort, I think many people are aware of the amount of effort that she puts into it. You arrive at a certain time in the church, she's been there probably 2 hours earlier, making sure that everything is prepared. Then thinking each month, who can we get to come and speak, to be there? Tremendous detail.
I think Teddy and Kathleen as well.
I will. She's just reminded me, and it's good to be reminded, to thank Teddy and Kathleen as well.
Yeah, for all
Also
their
Karen.
Yeah.
I've seen Karen coming in and helping there. It's this working together is so important. And we just thank God. Also, I know how deeply Grace cares about each person. If you're not well, if you're going through a difficult time, she is praying for you. And she will ask other people to pray for you because, again, she knows the power of prayer. And it's just wonderful that we're here to support one another. Isn't that what life is all about? We've been told to care for one another, help to carry each other's burdens. And thank you, Grace, on behalf of everybody, thank you for what you're doing. Bless you. And we will continue to pray for you and to pray for all that Parkinson's do. We actually meet most mornings in the church for prayer, 8 to 9, and Parkinson's on our list, will be on our list for prayer.
Thank you very much, Jean.